Dobro veći, momci. Šta ima, kako ste mi? Bolje vas našli. Evo vidite, sa nama specijalni gost Kemal Čebo. Gdje s Kemo?
To je taj specijal koji smo ljudima najavili.
Ja.
Ljudi došao Čebo opet.
Ne, mala zezancija Čebo. Svakako planiram da dođe večeras. Međutim, imat ćemo još jednog specijalnog gosta kojeg ćemo pričekati još malo par minuta. U međuvremenu, naravno, mi počinjemo sa emisijom. Kao i inače, nadamo se da ste dobro. Koliko imamo već 16 ljudi, naravno ljudi odmah upadaju. Hvala vam na vašem prisustvu, klikajte na like dugme, čim uđete, odmah like dugme klikneš, nemoj ni razmišljati, nemoj ni gledati ko ima na ekranu, odmah dole palac traži.
Evo,
eto, Dušan je tu, Afan je tu, Just momci, kako ste mi večeras. Nije, Dušan je svako veća emisija, ovo smo već dugo vremena dogovarali, sa, kako smo već rekli, s jednim specijalnim gostom koji je vrlo dobro poznat u ovoj Twitter sferi i YouTube sferi od strane engleskih navijača, tako da ćemo, kako on uđe na emisiju, tako ćemo se prešaldati na engleski jezik, da ispadne ko da pričamo engleski cijelo vrijeme.
We will try. I'm a bit rusty with my English. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but we will see later.
Šta ima?
Ništa vala posebno. Ja bio sam upitan, hoću li moći doći večeras, jer smo imali pa pojačač, jer smo imali, kako se će, hajte na pivo. Jer smo imali sinoć sirove emocije, završili tu grupu, Gunner Fever bio najavljen svakako za petak, standardna najava protiv Chelsea, ali tu nešto malo drugačijem sastavu, neće biti s vama Šibi i Šahman, bit će Enes Čebeli i gost koji je upravo završio svoj podcast, i to je razlog koji kasnije da se malo čovjek dohaviza i dozove, upravo je završio svoj podcast koji je pratilo, ne znam, 400-500 ljudi, u pitanju je Firm Latte, Late Night with Firm Latte, eto pogledajte taj, tražite YouTube channel, Fred je pravo interesantan, uvijek ima interesantne goste.
Beton goste. Beton goste ima uvijek.
Ima beton goste i super su im teme i ozbiljan kanal.
Ma ja. Vidiš, mi ćemo svakako vaše komentare prevoditi, ako vam je mrsko pisati na engleskom jeziku, tako da slobodno pitajte što ćete da pričamo.
Ajde da budemo ozbiljni, ajde, fino se ponašajte kad gost dođe.
Skin cipale kad uđeš u kuću.
Fino se ponašajte. Evo kaže Johnny, 18k sabova, ozbiljan čovjek, pravo interesantan lik. Sad mu je bio Pedro La Grove, da njega čuli sigurno, sad mu je upravo bio u emisiji. Gledali ljudi komentarisali Chelsea, to je razlog zašto kasnije završila emisija u 11.05, zato malo mi kasnimo, ali nema veze, taman da se raje malo skupi i da popričamo o utakmici sa pa kad dođemo do KSA-a, što da ne, da popričamo o utakmici sa Chelseaom koja nas očekuje, eto, prekosutra. Dakle, bit će zanimljivo.
A ljudi, pišite nam u komentare kako se osjećate povodom utakmice, da vidimo neke svježe impresije, svježe prognoze.
Da, vidim, 21 Savage, on je baš izbacio sad album sa Drakeom i jedna stvar, on govori kao da dočekam da mi je vidjeti da Gunneri osvoje Premier ligu. To je top stvar. Pa ja, jel mu latte, late, firm, latte, late night, tako?
Latte.
Tako je, Vlatko. Auba zmija, imamo sve što da kažemo za Aubu.
Za Aubu moramo ovu sliku naći da mogu šerovati.
Koju?
Auba, onaj, kako je rekao obazi mi sad za ovu reklamu, kako je rekao, nothing personal, jel? Nothing. Pašće te rane.
Evo, potpuno siguran pobjedu. To nam treba. Realno, ozbiljno, kad dođe gost, pišite slobodno na našem jeziku.
Na tečnom našem jeziku.
Ako neće na engleskom, prevodit ćemo, ima nas. Ali mislim da svi znamo engleski, dovoljno dobro. Nadam se da će biti zanimljiva emisija, malo drugačija.
A ja.
Gonna be
Uglavnom,
high.
čisto da to napomenemo, znači vidim da neki nisu očekivali emisiju danas, ali poenta je što mi inače Gunner Fever pravimo 2 dana prije emisije, obično, pošto je uvijek večernje izdanje, nema smisla dan prije utakmice, ako je utakmica u 1 ujutru da na večer sjedimo i moramo biti malo temeljiti, brate. I obradimo uglavnom 2 dana prije.
Jeste, ajde, recimo sutra ovo uz kafu da gledam. Fino, lijepo. Ako imate kakvih interesantnih pitanja za gosta, slobodno pripremite.
Koliko zarađuje od YouTube-a i tako to.
Pametna pitanja.
Eto vidiš. Ja.
Evo Meša recimo ima da pita o bolidu. Ja, ne razumijem.
Ne razumijem ni ja tu, a kamol da njega pita.
A kao bolid je, kako ne razumiješ?
Šta
je Meša htio da kaže?
Šta je Meša htio da kaže?
A znaš šta, sjebat ćemo ga kad ga pitamo za lucidnu. Ne znam on za lucidnu, ga mu kao...
daj mi neki... Lucid. Daj mi neki dobar primjer lucidne, što je neko pogodio. Šta je ono Hare pogodio prošli put?
Žota neće imat šut na gol. To je bila jedna od pogođenih lucidnih.
Ok. Ide voz, ide Mirza, ide. Kimo, Čebo, kako ti voliš da te mi, što smo te malo bliži sad, kako bi te mi trebamo zvat sad? Malo neki, malo intimniji.
Šefe.
Dobro. Jel tebi je strah ove utakmice u nedjelju?
Pa ovako konkretno, pričali smo malo jučer, nije me strah. Mislim da trenutno imamo bolje igrače na svim pozicijama, s njihovim povredama, znaš. Kad računaš sve povrede. I mislim da imamo puno bolju formu. A mene samo brine kako ćemo mi izaći na tu utakmicu. Hoćemo li izaći pokunjeni glava, hoće li nam biti mrsko igrati, ili ćemo izaći kao što smo izašli u predsezoni kad smo ih raštimali 4-0 i dobili ih blic krigovali ih, razumiješ, nije bilo jasno džesu šta su, kako su.
Bukvalno.
Samo me to, jer ako izađemo ko što izlazimo protiv Nottingham Foresta, protiv Liverpoola, protiv Tottenhama, ako tako izađemo uzimamo 100%. A ako izađemo ko protiv Southamptona, Leedsa, ako izađemo ko protiv, šta smo još Aston Villa smo malo mrljavili. Znaš,
Southampton malo ti
može biti. Znaš, bit će mi drago da budemo bolji pa taman izgubili, tipa protiv Uniteda.
Pa bitna je igra u suštini. Pa to je pravi primjer.
Ali daj da budemo dobri pa neki zijanimo, stvarno nije dobro.
Jest, jer to se upravo pokazalo da nam je karakteristika ove sezone i nema veze ako izgubiš, mi ćemo nadoknati te bodove, samo je važno da dobro igramo. Mislim, posljednji par gostovanja nismo briljirali, ne može se lagati, ali Stamford Bridge je ko drugi Emirates nama. Mi tu stvarno
dobro, imamo skor. Ajde daj nam, koji je skor u zadnjih? Od kako je Arteta na grupu?
9 mečeva, 5 pobjeda, 1 remi i 3 poraza. 3 puta su nas samo uzeli samo malo, preko skoro 3 godine, brate.
Jer nama najgore što se može desiti za vikend je da ne budemo više prvi nego drugi. Eto, to je najgore što nam se može desiti.
Ali ja koliko sam skonto slušao sa njihovi par navijača, oni osjećaju pritisak da moraju pobijediti. Tu je jedan full, znaš. Pogotovo sumnjaju Pottera jer izgubio je od svog tima prošlo kolo, pravo je na Marsan. I vjerovatno osjeti pritisak da mora nešto isporučiti ovo kolo, a povrede ga stišću sa svih strana. Sad, šta će on tu proizvesti, Boga pitaj. Voće je optimističan, vidimo.
Voće je, brat moj. Voće, mogli smo nedelje nešto skontati za utakmicu.
Hoćete se skupljati?
Pa nije ništa dogovoreno, nego mogu s Fočom otići popiti pivo. Na primjer. Jesi iz iste time zone, mi smo njemu rekli u 10. Po engleskom. Fred iz Vlogovi.
Ja. Ajde da te pitam ovo, da moraš 2 igrača iz Chelsea ubaciti u naših 11, koja bi to bila dvojica?
Da moram 2 igrača ubaciti u naših 11?
Ja.
2 igrača iz Chelsea u naših 11. U ovom trenutku. Pa, mislim, ja računamo, Reece Jamesa, da se razumijemo.
Pa eto sve ukupni, Reece James.
Eto, Reece James je 1.
Ja ne znam, isto.
Pa možda ja jebi ga, ne znam sad, Zakarija, ali onaj Zakarija što je igrao prije nego što je bio povrijeđen.
Umjesto Jezusa.
Umjesto Jezusa.
Je teško. Evo i ja se slažem sa Afanom, James i Mount. Ja bi Mounta isto vjerovatno stavio.
Ne, Jamesa sigurno.
A Mount mora razmisliti umjesto koga?
Pa ne, boga mi, ja sam konto ko je bolji od Mounta. Od koga je, znači, Martinelli nije. Saka za mene nije. Može Marino tvrdi što hoće. Odegaard nije. Jednostavno, ne znam. Havertz mi je dobar. Eto, znači, moja 2 igrača, Reece James, Havertz.
Reece James, Havertz kad moru. Dobro, ok, fair play. Ja bi Mounta morao bi čak izbaciti. Čak bi morao izbaciti, njega bi nekako uglavio i Reece James za Whitea, jebika šta će. To je to.
A čekaj, misliš da Mount može igrati čak i na poziciju?
Pa mislim da može. A šta ću, nismo
ne znam, Mount je sam.
Igramo različite totalno taktike. Znaš, totalno smo različite uloge na terenu imamo. Oni nemaju Odegaarda ni jednog. Oni ni izbliza nemaju takvog igrača. Nebitno, ali neko bolji šta ja znam. Evo vidiš neki bi Kovačića. Nije ni to loš šaut. Ali eto, Kovačić je ne znam, znaju li Raja da je questionable za nedelju. Kad bi to bilo odstvo plus odstvo Kantea, znači u sredini terena oni su jako tanki, a da ne pričamo u zadnjoj liniji James, Fofana, Chilwell, golman Arrizabalaga, nikog nema. Zakarija nema ga, jel tako?
Nema.
Zakarija se povri. Dobro, tu se još kao nije spominjalo, ali u suštini, jebi ga, taka je situacija, šta da ti kažem. Dobro,
A vidi, mene Sterling ne brine gore u napadu, ne mislim da Sterling, znaš. Auba je, ne znam, možemo se desiti da zabije, znaš, možemo se desiti da ga ne vidimo cijelu utakmicu, može briljirati, znaš sam kakav je bio u Arsenalu, nikad mu se ne znam. Imaće sigurno dodatni motiv, a inače i naš dodatni motiv da zbog ovih njegovih gluposti što vada.
Ali unijeće malo pometnju, baš zbog toga, ako uđe zadnjih 20 minuta, okrenut će se, obratit će pažnju na njega, tu me malo strah, znaš. Biće gurava utakmica, evo ovako da odmah kajem šta mislim, biće baš neizvjesno, ne bojim se isto oko niti, ne bojim se poraza, jer ne vidim da oni mogu nama dati neke golove. Imamo jako odbranu, čvrstu, stvarno se ne moramo bojati. Meni je samo ovaj detalj sad važan koji se desio jučer, povreda odnosno ušao je Tomijasu u igru i povrijedio se i morao izaći. Ima jedan detalj koji nisam znao, tek sam ga jučer ili prekjučer pročitao. Navodno, ovo što sad u Europa ligi, kad u ovo pola sata što imamo, zadnji pola sata utakmice, često ubacimo Partija, Saku, ove najbitnije igrače vrlo često ubacujemo. I znaš da se dosta vidiš, Raje buni se, što ulaze nam najjači igrači, što se ne odmaraju. Pa upravo ti 30 minuta služi haman ko odmor, zato što Ima ona sesija nakon utakmice koja se mora odraditi, to je warm down onaj što radi on na terenu. Znaš kako se ESR povrijedio, na primjer, baš u toj sesiji.
Poslije, na trčanju, poslije utakmice.
Kogoda uđe u utakmicu, makar ušao 15 minuta, ne mora taj warm down sesiju raditi, nego može ići kući. I zato on ih ubacuje i ono, štedi ih te trening sesije manje više, da se pripremi za sljedeće kolo. Tako da Tomiyasu je bio 100% planiran da počne protiv Chelsea, a ja sam ubijeđen u to. Čim je ušao na teren, tada pola sata koliko je bilo do kraja, izašao je povrijeđen. Znači malo smo rizikovali. Šta će sad uraditi za lijevog beka?
Ne znam, brate, Tierney ti odigrao fantastičnu utakmicu. Zašto bježati od toga? Nismo mi sad hendikepirani na lijevom beku. Nije Tierney neko ko ne zna igrati. Mi smo s Tierneyem dobijali Chelsea. Znači, nije Tierney, nije loša opcija, nemoj ga na beka. Ne, ja mislim da će on jedva dočekati da pokaže da zaslužuje to mjesto. Po meni je odigrao stvarno pravo dobru partiju, znaš. Tako da, s te strane super, ali ja sam htio da se nadovežem na ovo zašto oni ulaze. Vidi, oni čuva im formu.
Jeste.
Drži ih aktivnim s tim što su ušli pola sata. Jer su igrali na takmičarskom nivou, nisu trenirali, nisu pravili pauzu 7 dana od utakmice, nego su pola sata igrali jakog intenziteta i takmičarskog nivoa. Razumiješ? Tako održavaš igrače da ti ne zapadnu u pauzu, jer sjeti se naših utakmica kada ne igramo 7 ili 10 dana, pa ekipa rašljena djeluje, znaš. Tako da i održava ih oštrima, održava ih u takmičarskom mentalitetu, tako da ja se sjećam da je to Wenger isto radio i to je recimo meni pravo zanimljivo da bilo, znaš, što mora igrati protiv...
Liga kup ubaci Van Persija.
Jaran ubaci ga pola sata, 15-20 minuta, samo da otrči, uđe, osjeti nešto od njega. Što Van Persija jebote, ja njega nađu.
Nešto mi je na pamet, sjećam se Liga kup utakmice ulazi on na teren, kretin. Ma ne znam, mislim, meni su Zinchenko i Tomiyasu jedan te isti bek. Oni dvojica nekako na lijevom beku mogu jednako igrati, uđe u sredinu terena i ne gubi loptu. Fakat, ni Tomiyasu isto je jako dobar tehnički, neće izgubiti loptu. Tierney će igrati uz out liniju. Sad, hoće li Arteta mora da adaptira čitavu taktiku s tim da ima lijevog beka koji će ti šutat po out linije, jer u sredini terena on na tom nivou po meni ne može igrati. Jebi ga. Ako je to cijena koju moramo platiti da on igra, stavi ga, ali to neće biti plan A po meni. Plan A je da se igra Tomiyasu, kad Tomiyasu nema, Zinchenko jedini koji može to raditi, ali ulazimo u rizik, brate, Frere se tek se vratio s povrede i sad hoćeš li baciti kockice? Evo, on je ready, joining.
Hajde, super. Evo čeka. Zovi čovjeka.
I tu je to, vidjet ćemo što se planira za toga. Za tog lika. Za tu utakmicu ću mene, za tog lika. Tu ti je to. Lijepo se ponašajte. Nemojte da izgubimo obraz.
Yes. Jeli pa krenuli, znaš, kada jeli smo kod kuće, djeca kaže, što djeca pite, djeca, normalno ćemo. Tako pogleda, stari, kada jeli smo, mi jeli i krenuli, jebe.
Došla mama u posjetu, već jedno 70 dana, malci jedu samo zeljancu, povaz dan, ništa drugo neće, samo zeljancu hoće. To je prejako.
Kakva je njemačka blitva?
Blitva je dobra pravo, ali špinat nije.
Pa dobro,
špinat je bez zi.
A špinat nije za zeljanci, realno, blitva ide.
Čuj.
Pa nije, špinat je tvrđi malo.
Pa dobro, jest, ali zato imaš ovdje mladi špinat, znaš, baby špinat.
Špinate, Junge. Kako kaže špinat na njemačkom?
Špinat.
Jel?
Pa ja mogu se od neke riječi uzeti.
Pa špinat. Mogu sam pretpostavljati. Spanač. Spanač.
Popaj.
Spanač. Evo čovjek.
Okay. So,
hey guys.
Let's see.
Hello.
Hey, FK. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
We would like to present a special guest coming from London.
Yes.
You're live. Sorry.
Yes, we're live.
Sorry.
No, don't bother. If you have a beer, please. Crack a cold one. Yes.
Let's go. I'm so sorry.
No, we like this spontaneous.
Oh,
it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's all nice good to be here, guys.
FK, how are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm a little tired. I've had a very, very long week at work, but I'm well. I'm excited. Arsenal are top of the league, and we're in some really good form. And how can I not be happy? You?
Yeah,
you guys okay?
Exactly. That's exactly the same. You can see the smiley faces. We have them week in, week out. Every show is completely different as opposed to a couple of years ago. Yep. In fact, my friend Chebeli, who you see in the other screen, he shared one of our videos a couple of days ago from 2 years ago. Yeah.
And it was 1 year ago. After
1 year ago,
Manchester City defeat 5-0 on the stadium.
And you should hear the narrative, FK. It's something we cannot recognize ourselves. It's amazing. It's like different people.
The transformation has been huge. And I was just doing a show just now. I had Pedro of Le Grove. Yes. And he was saying just a year ago, people were talking about Arteta out, and they were showing XG, and we were at the bottom or 19th. Yeah. And now look at us. Look at us.
It seems like everything has puzzled up somehow.
Yeah.
I was the one who shouted Arteta out. I was the one who said, like, how long do we have to watch this shit, this crap? For how long? And it was just a year ago. We opened the season with 3 defeats, and then it all, I don't know, came like a big puzzle. It all fit in, and we started to win some games. There was that energy, that situation with Alba and all the guys who are like deadwood for the club. So everything kind of started to work out good, and now I say I was wrong for shouting Arteta out. Yeah, definitely.
We are eating our humble pie.
The energy.
Is your name Chebeli?
Yeah, Chebeli.
Chebeli. Listen, I think it's very noble of you and very honest of you to admit that just 12 months ago you were calling for the manager's name. I think in football sometimes we get lost as fans, as it's all about pride and all about not accepting that we were maybe wrong. I've been wrong so many times in my life supporting Arsenal and thinking about certain things. I think it's really great that you've been able to just say, you know what, 12 months ago, I didn't quite see it, but now, we're flying and I'm enjoying it. And you have to be able to change your mind, right? That's the beauty of the game. Yep. So I really respect that.
Exactly.
I have to say, because Enes was the one, he was our leader. I have to say it. He was like one of the few guys, but only few guys who claimed that Arteta needs time. I thought that we need a manager, strict manager with I don't know, 300 million euros for best world-class players just to come and play. But he was the one who said trust the process. So maybe Enes can take us to his little journey. He calls it the train, like jump all aboard the train, all aboard the Arteta's train. So he can maybe tell you a couple of sentences about
actually
his feelings during this time.
Yeah. Basically, as you know, probably your followers as well, 2 years ago and 1 year ago, people were very frustrated. We are Arsenal fans. We are used to success. We're used to big things. And then when Wenger went out, we said, okay, now we have a new reset. Let's claim our trophies, which we should be earning, which we should be top of the league, top of the Europe, and everything. But it didn't come with Emery. It didn't come, and then another manager Nedved came, and then everyone didn't have any patience anymore, as well as I did. I was really on the edge as well. I said, I really, as a fan with the heritage of our club, which we do have, I wanted trophies. But I realized somehow early that this process cannot go any different. There is no alternative. There is no shortcuts with this. You have to really pull your sleeves up and dig into the hard work, I think, because we are not the club of Manchester City or now Newcastle or Paris Saint-Germain powers to just snap our fingers and go to the top of the Europe. We have to really work smart, and this takes time. And somehow I was at least on our channel, I took a lot of bullets in the past couple of years. I'll tell you, it was not easy. It was not easy, but in the meantime, in myself, I hoped, I hope this turns out well. Well, if it doesn't, what's the alternative? We'll have even bigger problems. But luckily, everything somehow folded in its right direction, and I was big Arteta in from the beginning. But now I see it's not only Arteta; it's the whole club. I think, really honestly, now it's the whole club that it's putting so much effort. And one of the topics which I wanted to talk to you today about as well, after we introduce you properly, is that the fans also have their own effort in this, I think, because the energy which we see on the stadium is really something else. Yeah. But generally, let's introduce you now properly and ask you then the further questions. So, FK, can you tell us who you are and maybe just a couple of points from yourself? When did you start to follow Arsenal, and what was the reason?
Sure. So, yeah, my name is Faisal, although people call me FK. I live in London. I've lived in London my whole life. I fell into football when I was 7 years old. My father took me to my first game. He had some tickets free from his office and he didn't want to go. And back in the 80s, I'm showing my age now, back in the 1980s, hooliganism was rife in the UK. So my father was a little bit frightened to go to somewhere he wasn't familiar with and to go with his young child. So I went, I dragged him along over a Christmas fixture. We went to play Wimbledon at Highbury and we lost 3-1. But I was mesmerized by the red and the floodlights and the big sort of stadium. And of course, Highbury, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Highbury, our old stadium. It was just a majestic place. And I came away and that was it. I was hooked, and I've supported Arsenal now for more than 30 years. And I have a season ticket. I go to home games and away games. And I love it. I live and breathe it. So yeah, just like you guys, I'm huge fan. I have all the jerseys and I go to lots of games, and I love the collection, Chevrolet. I really like that. But it's hard sometimes. We've been through a bit of a journey, and like you said, Arsene Wenger towards the end of his days, the club was on a downward kind of fall, and Unai Emery, I think, maybe exaggerated that mess. And Mikel Arteta came in and he had to pick up something which needed really gross repairing, and we're well on our way to doing that. So hopefully that's a good background as to who and how.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah, great story. For example, I never been to London. I have a
Wow.
We are a third world country. It's kind of shitty here in Bosnia. So basically, it's hard for me to get a visa. It's too expensive for me to travel. But I hope in the coming months I will be able to come to London, because we have a lot of friends and a lot of members of our association, of our
community.
Since we are official Arsenal Supporters Club Bosnia. So we have that privilege to have 10% in Arsenal shop, and we can get tickets.
And listen, anytime, honestly, I would be. I know you got. If you've never, have you ever been as well?
I have been a couple of times. Yeah, in London on 2 games.
You've been to see games?
And,
okay.
yeah, and 2 games in London long ago, 10 years ago or 11 years ago, I think. But I have had the luck of joining a couple of Europa League games in these past couple of years. Yeah.
Shabeli, if you ever come to the UK and you get your visa, I would like to take you both to the Emirates Stadium. We'll watch a game together.
Please, listen.
Just do it.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Definitely, I'm coming. I don't know when, but I'm coming.
He has a suitcase ready. Don't worry.
Ready.
Yeah, I don't need a suitcase. I don't need suitcase. I just need.
But I know I can.
Credit card, big limit, and I'm coming.
I can confirm this, Chib. I can confirm that FK is telling this from the heart because I follow him on Twitter as well, and I know he helps a lot of fans to get tickets. And if he has extra tickets, I've seen multiple times that he offers help to people, and I find that really amazing.
Always,
really great.
My friend. I've been supporting Arsenal for a long time, and I don't like people selling tickets for too much money and making money. For me, if I have a spare ticket, I'll give it away. If it's paid for somebody, especially if someone who's never been before, it really makes me feel good, very fulfilling.
Can I just then tell you a small story with the situation which we had a couple of weeks ago, or even weeks ago, before the PSV game which we had in Eindhoven a couple of weeks ago. This will give you a feeling of us Arsenal global fans, which we are members of global fans, not the UK fans. Yeah. And usually we get some luck to get a couple of tickets for away games for Europa League. But this time for the PSV game, the London just gave us an email, said, look guys, there's no tickets for you this year because the season ticket holders will get all the tickets. And that was it. And we got really pissed. That's not fair. Why would you just give them that kind of privilege? And then I found out, I read through the internet as we usually do. Most of the people resold their tickets. They didn't even go. They just claimed the ticket to be able to sell them to earn money, whatever. But I find it really wrong.
Let me tell you something about that. So not that particular story, but the way away tickets work in the UK, if you have a season ticket at your club, so if I have a season ticket at Arsenal, every away game that I go to, I get a point. So it's like a credit. And the games in the UK are categorized into different categories. So you have A category, B category, C category. The big games are always in the A category. And for the away games, let's say Manchester United at Old Trafford or Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, you need 35 to 40 points in the last 2 seasons to get a ticket at that game. So what a lot of people do, and you can understand where I'm going with this, is that a lot of people will buy an away game ticket using their season ticket as soon as it's available, whether they go to that game or not, just to get the point. And the system is fundamentally flawed because it allows me to buy my ticket and sell it to you, sell it to Sally, sell it to Tom, whoever wants to buy it. And I get the point. So that means I can cherry pick and go to the big games if I want to. And now, of course, with Arsenal being really, in form and top of the league, everybody wants to go. Everybody's buying the credits to make sure that they have enough. So when they can get to a cup final, for example, they have enough credits in the bank. When they go to the big away games or a semi-final or a quarterfinal in the Europa League, let's say, they have enough credit in the bank. I've always hated that system. For me, even as someone who's benefited from the system, I'll be honest with you, in my 20s, I used to just hoover up all the points. There were times when I'd have like 45, 50 plus points in a season. But it was the game, and the game was there to be played. But as I've gotten older and as I've realized that it's actually grossly unfair, and not just to our overseas fans, but even like within the UK, you have a lot of people who have season tickets that just don't get a chance or have never thought of buying away games and taking the hit, just getting the credit. So it's a really flawed system. I think the club is looking to work on it, and maybe in the next year or two they'll solve it. But for now, that's exactly why you're probably not getting tickets.
Yeah, it could be the same for Europa League, probably.
Ennis lives in Germany. He's in Köln, Cologne. What's the English word for Köln?
Cologne.
And it's how far is Eindhoven?
PSV Eindhoven was 1 hour away. 1 hour away from.
I'm
So
in
it's
Sarajevo.
like-
I have direct flight for Eindhoven for 30 euros.
Wow.
So it's possible to get to the place where the game
and
is
they
held. But
they
the
send us an
problem is-
email. And just for my understanding, if you get 35 points in the way that you described, what does it mean for the next Old Trafford game, which costs 35 points? Do you get a privileged opportunity to buy the ticket, or
That's it. There's no difference in price or discount. You just get you're qualified. You're eligible to buy the ticket. So in England, the away fans tend to have between actually 3 and 10% of the crowd. It's dependent on the club. So at Old Trafford, maybe we'll have like 5,000 fans. So if there are 30,000, let's say, season ticket holders, obviously only 5,000 fans are going to be allowed to purchase, which is why they use this credit system. So if you have the 35 points, you have first option to buy the ticket. Then maybe 3 days later, it'll go down to 30 plus points, then 25 plus points, then 20 plus points. Very rarely will a big game go down to as little as that. They're normally sold out within like a day. So yeah, it's pretty ferocious the way that people buy tickets these days in the UK. And now you have lots of touts. Do you understand what I mean by touts? Black market. So you have a lot of people who buy tickets and just try and sell and make loads of money. You have companies that do that online, like Ticket Hub and StubHub, and they're making a fortune. And it's just not right. It's not right.
It shouldn't be business like that. This is something else. But
we have a friend in London. He lives in N5. He's from North London. He's from Banja Luka, a city in Bosnia, and he's a postman over there. So he has a lot of friends that go to Arsenal games, and they are season ticket holders. And when they do not go to the game, they know he's a big fan. They give him the ticket, so
That's it.
He's usually at the Emirates Stadium, but always on the different stand.
Listen. Sometimes it is who you know. If you know someone who has a season ticket and it's spare for a weekend, take it, pounce it, because trying to find a ticket these days is so difficult, especially when Arsenal are top of the league. Everybody wants to go.
Exactly. Let's maybe talk about. Let's talk about. We talk about Arsenal week in, week out, and we would like to hear from you. What do you think? How would you try to objectively maybe assess our season so far? And what do you see different to the previous couple of seasons, Andrea? Has something changed for you? Or is this just the result of the work which we put in the previous couple of years? Has something changed? Have we had any extra luck? Or is it just the personnel? Or is it just the result of the hard work? How do you see it?
Gosh, that's a massive question, but it's a good question. It's a fun question.
Okay.
What do I make of it? Listen, we have made an incredible start to this Premier League season. It is a start that is beyond my expectations. When the season started, I said to my friends and on my channel, I said, right, this is about Champions League qualification. We'll try and get in the top 4. We'll try and win the Europa League, and we want to be at Europe's top table, right? You want to be competing in the best tournaments. The way we have flown out of the blocks, it's just a phrase we use in England. Like we have raced to the top of this table, and we are 10 wins out of 12, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Of course, Old Trafford defeat. I know. I went there. I was the jinx. But I'm so honestly, I'm so impressed by what Arteta has done, and the reason for this is because. So when he first joined, as I said at the start of the show, Arteta came in and he wanted to implement a culture, an environment where places in the team were based on merit. He wanted hardworking, honest individuals, a professional setup. No turning up when you want, no being late, no missing games of your choice. It's either his way or the highway. And he inherited a bit of a mess under Unai Emery, which did start to be very fair at the end of Arsene Wenger's reign. There was a lot of deadwood to clear out. We've done that. He's paid the cost for that because, of course, Arsenal fans turned on the manager and questioned what we were doing at the time. And, of course, we've had to endure 2 8th place positions. But this summer and last summer, the players we've brought in, the profile of these players, you know, they're young, they're hungry, they have a point to prove at the highest level. They're a very likable team. The All or Nothing documentary, it was really good that it was when we were 8th and struggling, because it gave us fans real insight as to what Mikel and Edu are trying to achieve. You know, when we're on Twitter, when we're on YouTube, we're speculating, we're guessing, we're reading, we talk, and we make our own conclusions, but that was very factual. What we saw, I think, developed a bond between us and the manager and the clubs. And that goes back to that your point earlier about the fans. You know, it's been a real difference this season. The big difference this year, this particular campaign, I mean, Gabriel Jesus, what a signing, because this guy has elevated the team. Like, to go from Lacazette and Aubameyang, and I don't want to joke about them because, you know, they were good servants to the club. We did win the FA Cup, and, you know, I won't knock that. But from where we were to what we've got now in Jesus, who is this almighty, hardworking, pressing from the front, clinical, 4-time Premier League winner at 25 years of age, the guy is sensational. And you look at the back end of the pitch, you know, Ramsdale's a year maturer, a year wiser in goal. Gabriel is now the polished article. Ben White has had a year at Arsenal. He's now playing right back, of course.
Ben White, we have to dedicate a special show just for Ben White. He's
incredible. I mean, the guy is maybe the most underrated player in the league, because he's not getting a look in for England. He's not getting a look in from other supporters, as in other club supporters. It's great to have cover at left back. You know, Kieran Tierney, as much as I love him, he's missed important games and important seasons for us. I mean, last year alone, Tomiyasu and Tierney missing. To have Zinchenko now to step in, and to have Ben White being able to play right back so well is brilliant. And the biggest change, the Rolls Royce, William Saliba. I mean, what a guy. When I see this player, guys, when I see him play, I feel calm, I feel safe. And I can't tell you how much that means, you know, as a football fan, when you're in the stadium as well, when you're extra nervous maybe. When this guy is defending, I just feel as if everything's going to be okay. Like, the ball's going to come and he strides, he glides across the water like an animal. And he's so graceful and so elegant the way that he defends. Like, no one's going to beat him. The guy is the next Van Dijk. I'm convinced in fact, I would say, I've seen, obviously I'm quite old, right? So I've seen a lot of good young players in my time. William Saliba is probably the best player with the biggest impact at such a young age for me in my Arsenal supporting life. And I've seen Cesc, I've seen Vieira, I've seen Jack Wilshere, I'm so blessed, Ashley Cole. But this guy, what he's doing isn't human. What he's doing is phenomenal at such a young age, and only 12 games into his life at Arsenal. So William Saliba has made a massive difference. And then the final part, reason why we're flourishing, guys, is we've solved the problem that is Granit Xhaka. In that, you know, I love him, right? You know, I've been the biggest fan of Granit Xhaka for the longest time. You know, he's a fabulous player, handsome man. I real proper man crush on him. But what Mikel has done by tweaking the system and playing Partey at number 6, my love, Partey at number 6, Granit Xhaka has basically been freed into playing this new role that has just taken his game from here to here. He's elevated his game. And so there's just a lot of different things that, you know, if you think about everything that I've just talked about, from the fans to the culture to the manager to the recruitment and the personnel, and it's all kind of just clicked. My only concern, sorry to be a negative, my only worry is that the squad just isn't big enough. Like, we've had such a good start. I wonder if it's sustainable, but that's why, guys, I think we are in the position that we are. So it's an amalgam of a lot of different things.
Now,
the best thing for me. Sorry, Anissa. The best thing for me is that I don't think that we are the elephant. Do you know the meme with elephant? Like, elephant's on a tree. He doesn't know how he got there, but he's there. Yep. I think we're not the elephant. We know how we got there. We played hell of a good football, and
hard work.
And hell of a good football. But this is the question. This is maybe the next question. Is this sustainable? In my opinion, I think that we need 2 or 3 players to keep going like this, because Europa League is getting harder and harder now. the games will take its toll on physique, on mental fitness, on our players. And I don't think we have proper players on the bench who can step up and do the exact same work rate as our first 11 do. For example, I like Vieira, but he cannot do what Odegaard does. I like Nelson, but he cannot do what Saka does. And,
you've hit the nail on the head, Chabeli. You've hit the nail on the head. So this is what I said right at the start. Right at the end, sorry. My biggest fear is that the squad is just too thin. You know, we have the thinnest squad in the league. We have the youngest squad in the league. We have the youngest manager in the league, potentially, I think, maybe. Nicola's absolutely right. After many years, what a centre back. And I don't even know who he's talking about. Gabriel or Saliba? I mean, that's how. Saliba. Of course, it is Saliba, but you get my point, right? You know, 1 year ago, guys, 13 months ago, in fact, we were at Manchester City. Bernd Leno was in goal. Cedric Suarez was our right back. We had Kolasinac, Mustafi, and Holding as our back three, with I can't remember who it was playing left wing back. And think about the change now. It's phenomenal. So to go back to your point, Chabeli, whether we can sustain it or not, under normal circumstances, if the World Cup wasn't in 2 weeks' time, I would say absolutely not. No. What are you talking about? Of course not. This is Arsenal. But I think the World Cup's a really unique factor this year. We have 6 weeks where players who aren't picked up are going to go and become more familiar with each other. We'll have a few more camps, keep up fitness. I think the top clubs all have international players, lots of English players who are going to hopefully, progress in the World Cup. It's a real unknown. Like when the players come back and then they have 6 or 7 days rest and then it's straight into the Christmas fixture, you know what it's like, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, it's bang, 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 game. It's really unpredictable. And Manchester City, as good as they are, they also have a very thin squad. They're light in numbers. But, Chabeli, you make it, the key point that you made was that the drop in quality from first 11 to, let's say, fringe players is huge. And maybe that's going to be too big for us. And then after the World Cup, and you guys know, as supporting Arsenal for years and years, normally when you have a major tournament in the summer, there's a lot of transfer activity. And I think this World Cup in November, December is going to trigger a big January window. I think there's going to be a lot of movement, not just for Arsenal, but for lots of clubs. I think the Premier League's going to have maybe another record window. And I think if we can buy sensibly, which Mikel Arteta and Edu's track record now gives me no doubt to believe we won't, if we buy sensibly, guys, we can dream. I mean,
why
not?
Yeah, look at it.
I know it kills me, man. But why not? I mean, Manchester City they're a fabulous team, right? They would be top of the league under normal circumstances. Had we have not had this amazing start, they'd be top of the league with or without Haaland, with or without Rodri, they've got so many good players, right?
Yep.
But we've broken the mold. And Manchester City are playing so well. Haaland's breaking all sorts of scoring records. They've spent so much money. And like Pep says, there is one team that is better than us, and that is Arsenal at the moment. So the pressure, I would say, is on Arteta to just keep doing what he's doing. Take every game as it comes. The next 2 games now before the World Cup, Chelsea and Wolves, if we can somehow get through those and still stay top going into the World Cup, January transfer window, a central midfielder, someone like maybe Danilo, maybe Mykhailo Mudryk as a wide player. It's big money. I know. If we have the money, I don't know.
Dream signing.
Really? You like him? I've never seen him play. I have to be honest. Tell me about him.
Chabeli watches him regularly.
Why do you like him, Chabeli?
If you have on a man crush on Xhaka, I have it on Mudryk. No, because I just want to know, before we start talking about Mudryk, can you tell me, what are 2 positions you think we need the most?
Central midfield for sure. But the thing is, you're probably going to say to replace Thomas Partey. I don't think you can replace Thomas Partey. I think he's that extraordinary. But I think we need bodies. I think we're... Mel Nenny has missed a couple of months and he maybe would have stepped into some more Europa games, and Thomas Partey's been deployed a couple of times here and there. I think a central midfielder, because if Xhaka picks up a crazy suspension, or if Thomas Partey gets injured or whatever reason, the drop in quality to Lokonga, who I like, and to Elneny, who is a safe player, is too big. And as wide players go, we forget sometimes Bukayo Saka is still such a young boy. Martinelli's a young boy. You know, Saka's played like 52, 53 games, 53 Premier League games in a row. He's going to, you know, you need to protect these players. He's going to have a World Cup. You don't know how he's going to be sort of back. Eldar, nice to see that comment. So I would say wide player, Cibeli, and a midfielder. Good shouts. I mean, Zaha's been linked with Juventus and Barcelona. I don't know if Mikel would go for such a player because of his age and, let's be fair, some of his temperament. You know, Arteta's trying to build a very clean, honest, you know, hungry sort of environment. And I don't know if Zaha fits that. Savic, I mean, what a player, but I don't know if he'd ever come to England. So those are my positions, Cibeli, midfield and wide player. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree, because when we are talking about this in our podcasts all the time, we have a special show called let me translate it, Raw Emotions. That is the show we do every time right after the game. We go online and we go rant, or celebrate. It depends on the result. So basically, we talk about this problem all the time, and everybody agrees that those are the two positions we need. We heard a lot of rumors about Yuri Tillemans. I thought that guy really signed for Arsenal, but it eventually didn't happen. And we heard a lot about, I don't know, it was Gakpo, it was Jeremy Pino, it was
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz, but I'm talking about wingers right now. So if I have to choose between Gakpo and Mudryk, even though Mudryk costs a bit more, I would go for Mudryk. The reason why is he plays Champions League. He plays the top level of football from Shakhtar in Ukraine. He plays and he scores against top clubs such as Real Madrid. And it's not just in this season, it was in the previous season. So he has like a CV. He has credibility of a player who plays against top teams, and he performs against top teams. I like Gakpo, but Gakpo scored, I don't know, 5 goals to Zurich, and they're talking like he has more assists and goals than Saka and Martinelli combined. But he still, I am saying Gakpo is a great player, but I'm saying like, where do you play? Who do you play against? And what do you do? I watched Mudryk. That guy is insane. He has left foot, right foot. He's fast. He's like Martinelli, but with better technique. Because I think no. Really. Wow. Martinelli, I love that guy. Just to prove it to you. I love that guy.
35 as well. Original from day one.
Yeah,
I like it.
Last season, yeah. I love that guy. But the problem is sometimes I think he doesn't know what to do with the ball. Mudryk always knows what to do with the ball. He's a perfect.
How old is Mudryk?
21.
Gosh, and how much do you think he'd cost? 60, 70?
Shakhtar received an official offer from Everton. Last summer. It was 30 million euros. They didn't even present the offer to their president. They just rejected it.
Look, I have to be honest, Cibeli, I've never seen Mudryk play. I've seen some highlights, of course. Everybody's been to YouTube, right? And anyone can look amazing. I could look amazing, but or maybe not me. But in terms of traits, this is what I want, right? I want someone who is rapid, someone who is electric fast, because we know through Saka and Martinelli, pace frightens defenders. I want someone, ideally, someone who can play left foot, right foot, because the versatility is good. It gives us cover on both sides. Age is not a problem for me. Background is not a problem for me. Actually, you know, if I might say this, you know, coming from a club like Shakhtar, he'd maybe want to really establish himself in the Premier League, and he maybe have a point to prove. This goes back to like the Zaha comparison. Zaha is already established in the league. Like, he might come to Arsenal and think he's a big time guy, whereas I think Mudryk would come in and almost have something to prove. So yeah, look, I can't comment on him, but I think having a wide player like that, and if he's as good as you say he is, then I'm excited. And there was a tweet yesterday. I'm sure you guys have seen it, and everybody watching has seen it, where I think Shakhtar teammates are joking about Mudryk already moving to Arsenal. You know, they're talking about him in the dressing room as he's going to go. So maybe.
Yeah, but because of the rumors, the people misinterpreted that tweet, because it says like, I heard a lot of rumors. Even my team players are joking with me that I'm already at Arsenal and they're going to come along. So it was misinterpreted. So that's the point. But
you know what? There is noise, and that's a good thing. Like Mudryk obviously knows. Sorry, if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. He knows that there is something brewing in terms of interest or story or news or a link from Arsenal. And I think, listen, one thing that Clive Palmer from the Arsenal Vision podcast, if you guys listen to that or if you guys are aware of that, he's one of my favorite follows. He's quite in contact with people at the club. He said, as did Ian Wright, to be fair, that there are players looking at Arsenal, young players who want to be part of this project. And I think if Arsenal knocked on Mudryk's door in January, even if there was another Everton, or let's say another top four club, Chelsea could blow us out the water and throw loads of money at him. I think a player looks at Arsenal and says, these guys are back, and I want to be part of that. Arteta's building something special. There are young players. This could be the next class of 92, which you might know as referred to Manchester United back in the day. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think a wide forward, Mudryk would be amazing because I hear so many good things about him, and not everyone can be wrong. Would you guys take Zaha? Just to put a question to you guys.
I wouldn't, honestly, because first of all, the age is not going in his favor, and as you said, he probably has a little bit of a, let's say, attitude, which he will bring with himself. And if you look across our dressing room right now at the moment, they look really clean, we look really fresh, and without any strings attached. I think the whole team is like really, really eager to be a part of this club, and they only talk about the club. You don't see any. When was the last time that we had any gossips or just scandals or whatever which we had 3 or 4 years ago? It doesn't happen anymore. So we have we have to be really careful how we pick our players. And I think this mental aspect of the profile which we pick is maybe the most important one. I know the technical abilities and tactical abilities are really, but at this moment, the mental fitness or readiness of a player is something I think Arteta and Edu are really closely looking at. But just to touch on what you said about the names, I'm not sure about the names, but one thing which I have a feeling on, and this is referring to your story, what Clive said to you. The last 2 summers, if you look at it, 2 summers ago, which we brought players who were Tomiyasu, for example, 20-25 million, Lokonga also around 20-ish million. We slowly started to build our squad with the clean, as we said, players who understand tactical part and the mentally are here ready. And the last summer we had a step up in buying Jesus and Zinchenko. These are the players who, with, as we said, 25 years old, for Premier League titles, they already are elite level. And my feeling is the next summer will be even bigger. So I'm thinking about even scaling up on the bigger transfers than they are. And Mudryk, if he fits this kind of a transfer profile, let's say 60-ish or more million, Jude Bellingham, these sort of players, I really, really think we'll go for a big transfer in the summer. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to reflect on the January, because obviously we're not going to spend loads of money in January and loads of money in summer. This is not what Arsenal usually does, but it's okay as long as they have the long strategy of recruitment in place, which they obviously do. So let's just see which part do they choose. Do they bring, let's say, 30, 40 million player in January, or they save money and go big in summer?
It depends, you know.
Yeah,
If
what are the goals for this season? If I may
exactly,
just answer about Zaha, I would take Zaha, but 3 years ago, not now. Why?
but
Because
let me ask you, Chibeli. Let me ask just one
of
thing.
course,
Sorry, I know you're about to say. Imagine we're top, right? And it's January. Let's say we've played the Boxing Day fixture, we played New Year's Day. Maybe let's say we've played the first couple of weekends of January, right? We're still top. And at that point, you're halfway through the season and you've got a choice. You either spend, for argument's sake, 50, 60 million euros on Mudryk, or you buy Zaha. Just go with me for a second for £5 million because his contracts are up for grabs. Who do you think has the bigger impact for the next 5 months? And who do you think has the bigger impact to allow us to maybe win the league? Or do you buy for the future, knowing that you might maybe not win the league this season? I mean, I guess this is assuming that Mudryk doesn't come in and hit the ground running. Like, he might take a few months to settle, to acclimatize, whereas Zaha, you would imagine, would just be plug and play. What do you do
yeah,
in that situation?
yeah, he doesn't even have to change home address. He's still in London.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I see Zaha as a hot fix. So that's the thing I was planning to talk about. The main thing is, what are the club's goals? What did I don't know, Edu and Arteta talk about this season? Did they say we want top 4 and that's our goal? If we reach anything more, that's beautiful. Or we want to win Europa League or whatever. What are the goals? We don't know them because they are not presented to us. Maybe cleverly, maybe I don't know. A lot of clubs say we are, I don't know, we want to contend for the title. We are title contenders. Blah blah blah. We want to win everything, but the goals were not presented to us. But the thing is that we strive to do as much as we can. So basically, if we buy Zaha, I think it will be hot fix just for this season, because that means we have to buy Mudryk or any other player. Let's just say it's Mudryk.
Again in 2 years' time or something. Yeah.
Yes, again.
Yeah.
So we have to spend that money. So we just basically postponed spending that money. But
you might win the league.
yes, if Zaha is the one who can get you the league, then buy Zaha now and buy Mudryk in summer, or of course any other name. So,
But then, of course, Mudryk could also win us the league. So
Yeah,
we're
but
making a lot of guesses. Yeah.
You said it well. You said it well.
Yeah.
We're not sure because we don't know how will he settle. How long will he? I don't know.
Need time, yeah.
need
He
time
speaks
to-
English. He speaks English good. I've heard him
Yeah,
speak.
but that's not the only barrier. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. I'm just saying that the club has to be really calculated, and if they are making a risk, then that risk needs to pay off somehow. I don't know.
Mm,
But if you ask me, I wouldn't take Zaha. I would take Mudryk. But if you ask me as a manager of the club who can put a possible title with Zaha for £5 million, then I would take Zaha. But it's a really tough question.
Difficult.
So
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to answer it, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's why we are fans and they are directors of the football club, right? We would probably make a decision as a fan. It's really tough to put yourself in a position of their own. Yeah, in this case, I would say. Yeah, but let's see. That's a really interesting question. I just wanted to come back and say that I agree on both of you regarding the depth of the squad. It's actually not the number of players which we have in the squad. We've done the calculation a couple of days ago, right? Shibi, one of our friends, sent us in the WhatsApp group the comparison.
I will try to find it.
Yeah, it's amazing the comparison of the list of the squad of Arsenal versus Manchester City, and I've seen a couple of even with the compared to United and Tottenham. We don't have less players than City in the numbers. There's not less. We approximately have the same number, and I even looked at Transfermarkt for the stats. So only this season, we started more different players in competitive matches than Manchester City, which is amazing. One player more. Yeah, one player more.
But I think this goes back to your point about the drop in quality.
That's
You know,
it.
City's bench,
That's the
they
quality.
come in and like the team is unchanged, whereas we play Lukonga or El Neni or Rob Holding, and the quality sadly does drop, and it becomes unpredictable in that moment. But that's what we're working towards. You know, another window, another year, and we'll be there.
Yeah, hopefully. So looking now at the next matches, let's just meanwhile Chebeli will look for the picture, but I want to show you something else, which you probably also saw. It's regarding our next match, which we have against Chelsea and the Stamford Bridge. And let me show you this. You have probably seen.
Yeah,
this, right?
saw it. I watched his show before FK came to us. I saw what he said about Alba.
So, personally, funnily enough, I wasn't bothered by this. I have to tell you. Of course, I realized right at the beginning. So this is what BT Sport does, right? They probably gave him the lines which he should be saying. But anyway, regardless, he can always say, no, I don't want to say this. I have too much respect. Or yet again, he's Aubameyang. I know because I live in Germany, Cologne is very near Dortmund. And there's a lot of Borussia Dortmund fans here around in Cologne area as well. And they always say he's so cocky. He's not so clean player. He likes a little bit of dirt, let's say. And he probably accepted to do this like a sort of teaser to the game. And what do you think about it? For me personally, as I said, I wasn't bothered actually, because I don't have too big wounds from him leaving Arsenal or whatever he did. And honestly, I don't see him as a threat on Sunday. I don't know about you.
So before I talk about the advert, let's talk about Aubameyang's departure. I think it was the right thing for the club. I think a lot of people forget that for the last 6 months of his time at Arsenal, he was really struggling. He scored a hat-trick away at West Brom in the Cup. And he was amazing in the North London derby where we beat Spurs 3-1. But in other games, he was really left lacking in ideas and effort and, obviously doing all the things he did off the pitch, turning up late for training, turning up late for the North London derby, just going AWOL without telling the club. We did right by getting rid of him, and we needed to because of the wages as well. And of course, if you look at the replacement in Gabriel Jesus, absolutely the right thing to do. When I saw him go to Barcelona, I thought, okay, cool. He just, he's gone, he's out, he's away from England, that's fine. Now, of course, what Barcelona do with him is up to them. It annoyed me that Chelsea actually paid them money because we had to release and take a big hit. But it's not in our control now that he's at Chelsea. So that's number one. It's a bit like Cesc, when he left Barcelona, we said no. And you can't control where a player then goes. You could have gone to United, could have gone to Spurs, could have gone anywhere. So we have to remember this is his livelihood, and this is just the way that it is. When I saw the advert, just like you've just said, I thought to myself, why? Like, he would have had a choice. No one's holding a gun to his head to come out and say that, nothing personal, I'm blue, I'm ready, let's go Arsenal, or whatever it is that he said. I'm thinking there was no need for that. And when I watched it, I thought it was cringy. Like it didn't get me angry. It didn't make me want to be like, yeah, fuck this, we have to go to Chelsea, and it didn't. I just thought, Aubameyang, man, I'm so tired of you.
Yeah.
And there's no need for this. And to close, I mean, now I reckon he'll probably score on Sunday because Arsenal just have this history of doing, Van Persie, Giroud, whoever used to sort of play for us always has a good game against us. But Adebayor, yeah, the way that he did at Man City, God, I was there. That was a horrendous day. Yeah.
When he ran all across the pitch.
He ran all the way not towards me, but it felt like he was running towards me because I was so critical of him. But listen, with regards to Oba, It just ended so badly. But now he's there. I don't really care. I mean, look, if we weren't top of the league and if Chelsea were flying and he was doing really well, I'd be really bitter about it. But I think Arsenal are playing really well, and we've got defenders that are capable of keeping him quiet. But even if he does score, I think we'll score more. I think we'll win.
Yeah.
So don't really care.
I think he took a lot of shit on the fact that he was the captain of our club. That's what bothered me when I saw the ad. Okay, he was not just a regular player. It's funny, maybe he was here for I don't know, season or two, but he was the club's captain. He spoke about legacy. We watched live video of him signing the new contract with the Black Panther mask, and everything was so theatric. He even has the tattoo with his children coming from the tunnel at the Emirates, and you do this. So this tells a lot and this speaks a lot about his character.
Sometimes, Chabeli, players are just badly advised. So you look at, do you remember Koscielny?
Yeah.
And the way he announced, he took his shirt and it's like, I know deep down he would have regretted that once he saw it and thought, and just had a moment to think about it. He did it in the heat of the moment. His agent, his advisor, his head of media, whatever, players have all these sorts of this sort of entourage nowadays. I think sometimes players just need to be told, like, look, Pierre, don't do it, man. Just don't do it. Like, what's the point? What are you going to achieve? You're doing it in the heat of the moment. BT Sport, like you said, they're going to fire you up. They want box office, right? They want sparks. They want something to come out of nothing. But yeah, that's definitely just the way it is.
That's the way it is. Hey, can I tell you guys what's the head-to-head Chelsea versus Arsenal since Arteta took over?
Please
do. You know this? Do you know the score?
How many games have they played? Just tell
9.
me that and I'll guess. Okay, so 9 times Arsenal played Chelsea under Mikel. I think we've won 4, maybe drawn. We've won 5. Okay, that's good. Lost maybe 2, 3.
We lost 3 and we drawn 1. Actually, the one of those losses was a friendly game last year in August, which is irrelevant. But we have a really good record against them. As I said, I'm not scared. There is another point. They are missing a whole bunch of players, which we probably all know of. Arrizabalaga is not going to be there. Chilwell, Fofana, James, Kante, of course. And now we've seen news that Kovacic is also in big doubt. Which would be big. Kovacic is in. I wouldn't say big. I wouldn't say big doubt, but it's doubtful. I've read on Twitter, and a lot of our friends are from Croatia as well. So we'll ask them to investigate a bit further on it. But if Kovacic is not there, I don't see how Chelsea are going to play against us. The Reece James is not there, so their build-up play. Who's going to play in their build-up play? It's going to be Koulibaly, it's going to be Azpilicueta on the other side. I'm not sure through the middle they shouldn't even try.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
they'll have problems. They will have problems.
I hope so. I hope you're right. What I would say is that Graham Potter is a very good in-game manager. What I mean by that is that he's very, very open to making very early changes. I think we saw it was against United, where he switched to a back 4 by taking Cucurella off after like 27 minutes because he just thought, right, this isn't working. We need to, find another way. If we score first and score early on Sunday, it's good night, Chelsea. Like I don't think they have anything in them to come back to us. But Graham Potter is a very sharp guy, so I think he's probably going to tweak things and change things. But you're right, man. I mean,
how much can he tweak? That's the point. He can maybe
and Azpilicueta against Martinelli, Xhaka and Partey in the form of their lives. I mean,
it's gonna be tough.
It's going to be done.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Saka and Martinelli are gonna push hard and push forward. I'm not sure. I'm speaking just on the ball. When they have on the ball, I have no idea what they're gonna do. What's the game plan gonna be? Who's the personnel they're gonna be performing this game plan through?
Well, they still have good individuals. That's the worry. They have, and also you have to bear in mind match officials. Chelsea are the sort of wankers where they just get like a penalty, and Jorginho will score, and then the crowd, get behind them. If the ref is clean, and we have a good day with no dodgy decisions, and we play our game, I think we'll be comfortable. Vlatko is obviously very confident, but yeah, you're right. I mean,
it's Michael Oliver. It's Michael Oliver, actually.
I quite like Michael Oliver.
Me too.
He gave us a penalty against Liverpool. He sent off Di Maria at Old Trafford. He's a good ref, and so let's hope.
He's one of the rare ones who actually kind of figures out what's happening on the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's the best English ref we have.
Yeah, he has something here, and he's looking at, okay, these guys are too aggressive, so he adapts throughout the game. He can be a good ref on his day, and I don't think he has an agenda against us, which is always good.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Something that Enes asked me while we were waiting for you. If you have the chance to take 2 Chelsea players and put them in Arsenal squad, what players would those be?
In starting 11, if you have to.
Yeah, starting 11. 2 players.
Chebeli needed 15 minutes.
What a question. I promise I won't take 15.
Nah.
But
you have to think about injured players. But the list.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I love Reece James. I think he's a fabulous player, but Ben White is so good. I think Reece James in the final third is an exceptional player. But no, I think I'll keep Ben White because his form is just phenomenal. I think I liked Raheem Sterling before he signed for Chelsea. I think he's lost maybe a yard of pace. He's lost that sort of killer edge. I say that, and he'll probably score on Sunday. I like Havertz, but I think he has to be played in the right way.
Interesting.
I do think there's a good player in him, but you know what, guys? I'm struggling. I would have said N'Golo Kante, a year ago. He's still a fabulous player. He's never, but it's just his injury wise, he's having a problem. I'm just gonna have a look at their squad because
what do you think about Kovacic or Mason Mount?
Nah, I've never rated Mason Mount. I liked Conor Gallagher when he was at Crystal Palace, but again, I think we're beyond that. I would have taken him in the summer, but these 12 games have showed me that actually, if Partey's going to play that 6, Xhaka is amazing where he is. Odegaard's good. Conor Gallagher's maybe not that player. I'm just going to have a look at their squad, and I'm just having a look now. So I wouldn't take Koulibaly. I wouldn't take Mount, Ziyech. Nah. I wouldn't take Jorginho. Nope. Mate, honestly, there's
very few players.
Armando
right?
Broja. Is it Broja? Broja?
Broja,
yeah, I mean he's an interesting prospect. But you said to me, guys, first team.
First team.
I don't think he gets into our first team.
Okay. What about this proposition? Arrizabalaga from these couple of games. Was he showing the level of Ramsdale?
No. I think no. I think Kepa's a good shot stopper, but I think Ramsdale is a far superior footballer. And did you guys know that Ramsdale, when he used to train with England under 15s, 16s, and 17s at St George's Park,
midfielder,
played in midfield, yeah.
Yep.
So his ball at feet skills are phenomenal, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, we saw that with that ball that he sent into corner.
Oh, yeah, I saw that as well. I'm sure. It was so funny. I know.
Yeah,
I don't know whether he was trying to pass to Tierney or he was trying to be too clever with Gabriel, but yeah, that was embarrassing. But I wouldn't swap him for anyone. Maybe Alisson, but no one else.
So no players from Chelsea. Okay.
I don't think so, Jabelli. I don't think
That's the
so.
point, actually.
Well, since you're from London, I know. For example, when I started to watch Arsenal and love the club, my biggest rivals were Manchester United. So I don't see Tottenham as rivals because the location. I live far. I remember that they were nothing. So this really small club, 3-point lane, That was the name of their stadium. We just go and win the league over there and stuff like that. So it was always the small club that Arsenal had the rivalry with. But
Yep.
I didn't see that rivalry. I saw the rivalry in Manchester United, and then when Abramovich came, I saw it in Chelsea. How do you feel about rivalry?
The rivalry is Tottenham. Yeah, and I'll tell you why, guys. So obviously growing up, Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger went head to head for years and years. Manchester United, Arsenal, they were the two juggernauts. And that rivalry was intense. It was insane. And it still exists now. You know, the remnants of what they left behind. Every time I go to Old Trafford, you just want to beat those fuckers. And likewise, right?
Yes.
But with Spurs, and he's right, they still are nothing. With Spurs, there is and it could be because of where I was born and all the, you know, Spurs fans that I would have in class. But it's also the experience of going to White Hart Lane so many times. It is poisonous. It is toxic. It is, there is a deep, deep hatred for Spurs. And I would agree with you. I think 3 Point Lane, you know, there's probably been more hatred from Spurs to us because of our success, and we've just been, you know, looking elsewhere in terms of United, and, you know, always looking upwards. I would say I hate Chelsea because of Roman Abramovich. You know, when he came into the country, he ruined, I think, football by financial doping. He was the instigator, the trailblazer, and of course I had a lot of love for Arsene Wenger, who suffered from that. And I hate Chelsea because they are such, I mean, you talk about little clubs and nothing clubs. They are the epitome of nothing club. They had nothing. They were on the verge of collapse, and he's come in and he's completely changed it, and he spent so much money, and they just don't deserve any of it, and that's just the way that it is. But hatred for me, I mean, when the fixtures come out, the first fixture I always look for is, right, when are we playing Spurs, home and away? I then looked at Old Trafford. I then look at Stamford Bridge. I mean, I don't even think about Liverpool anymore and other clubs, but yeah, Spurs is the one, Chibelli. I think, and if you ever get the luck to go to a North London derby, those atmospheres at the Emirates are insane.
Electric.
Oh,
buzzing. You London people say buzzing.
Mate, I can't. Yeah, buzzing. They are something else, man. Like in the week before the game, you can't sleep. You just watch old goals, old compilations, old fixtures, highlights. You talk about it, you live it, you breathe it, you speak it, you tweet it. And as the days come by, then Derby Day, as we call it in England, you wake up in the morning and you're just a nervous wreck. Like you feel sick, you want to vomit. You go to the ground, and what's amazing is the unity. Like, I know it sounds really silly because we're in a really good place at the moment and everybody seems united, but we've had so many years of, you know, Wenger out, Wenger in, Unai Emery's not the man, blah blah blah, we're shit, blah blah blah. When it comes to Spurs, no one cares about anything else. It's just about beating the scum, and that's why for me it's the biggest rivalry, and it probably always will be, just because it's ingrained in us. You know, we've kind of grown up in that environment.
Yeah, I guess that's an important point what you said. Probably you have.
I hope Alexander's not calling me a plastic, but yeah, sorry, go on.
No, that was Chelsea.
No, Chelsea. Okay, yeah. I forgot you can read the comments. A lot of people are just writing in our language, so basically when it's something really, really interesting, I will translate. But usually they're just jokes.
Just boring.
I know all the rude words. Don't worry. No, I'm joking. I don't know anything. They could be calling me anything, and I wouldn't have a clue. But it's all good.
They do not call you.
It's all good. Don't
We
worry.
told them they have to behave
Be nice.
nicely this time.
For example, this one says, "Let's go lucid." Okay,
We have to explain.
Yeah, we have to explain it. So this show is called Gunner Fever, and usually we do it 2 days before the game, and then we talk about the game and the result. What's the real result we are looking at, and what's the lucid one.
So the lucid one needs to be something,
and it has to be crazy. For example, our friend said the lucid.
Versus the forecast
prediction. Prediction.
Prediction.
Prediction. So like lucid prediction. He said Arsenal for
before the Liverpool game.
Yeah, for like real prediction. He said we will win Liverpool 3-2. And yeah, he guessed it. And he said for lucid prediction, he said Jota will not have shot on target.
And he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So
wow.
this
What's he saying about Sunday?
Yeah, and it has to be lucid. Like, for example, Odegaard will score a free kick, or Mo Elneny will do a brace, for example, something like that. So we need you to say the real prediction and the lucid prediction.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What are we saying for Sunday? Okay, my real prediction is that I think Arsenal are going to go and win 3-1. My lucid prediction, if you like, is that I think Jesus is going to score a hat-trick.
That's great. That's great.
He hasn't scored in 8 games, and I think he's going to shut everyone up and just bang in 3 goals. Why not?
I think he has it on his mind, definitely.
We have realistic prediction 2-3 to Arsenal, and the lucid one 0-2 party, another 20 plus meters.
Can I give mine?
Yes, go for it.
It's going to be 2-1 objectively, and the lucid one is Aubameyang is going to miss a penalty.
Oh, that would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Ooh, that's tough one. Who? Let's say. Okay. Okay. I must be pessimistic a little bit. I will say draw. It will be a draw. 1-1. 1-1.
Okay. Yeah.
1-1. But for a lucid prediction, I will say that Saliba scores a header.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Good.
But I think Arsenal are winning.
Well, listen, I hope. I just want to. I don't know.
5-0.
That's a really lucid one.
I love that.
For example, lucid one, Odegaard scores a free kick.
Free kick, yeah.
It's a good shout. He needs a goal.
That's true.
Oh my God, I love that. Overscoring. Takes off his shirt. Says, forgive me for that awful past. We wish.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah, we shouldn't be worried about Sunday. I'm positive. I'm positive.
I just think that we need the strength and mentality to walk and run out at the Stamford Bridge with the courage and guts to play football, because I think we are a better football team now. We play better football, and we will win just if we put our minds right into it, like we did against Liverpool, like we did against Tottenham, like we did, I don't know, a couple more games. Not like, for example, Leeds, not like Southampton, but fully focused, playing your style, your football, and I think that will be a win for us.
I hope
Great
so,
stuff, guys. Great stuff. So on this mind, we would like to finish the podcast for today. I really thank you for coming, and it's been an honor to have you here. And hopefully,
it's been great fun to be on. Honestly,
yeah.
Please don't consider this a privilege or treat me specially. It's been really nice to help you out. You got in touch with me on Twitter some weeks ago, and I really appreciate you asking me, man. I don't get asked often enough, so it's been a real pleasure, and nice to meet you as well, Jabeli.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. I follow you. I watch your podcasts.
A lot of us watch your podcasts.
Every time, so basically, we don't have a lot of viewers right now, but this, for example, this video will go around 700 or 800. It will get 700 or 800 views, because people usually watch this drinking coffee on Saturday morning or right before the game, or something like that. But we are like a channel with small community, because we are Arsenal fans from Bosnia, so. And Croatia, I must say, because our friends also, Arsenal Supporters Club from Croatia, we are united. We are trying to spread this story through Balkans, all the region, former Yugoslavia country, and all the people who like Arsenal. They are very welcome here to talk, to love our club, and to express themselves. So this is why we do it. So thank you, and for everyone on our chat, please, if you didn't do it before, please do follow FK on YouTube. Latte Firm or Late Night Latte, that's the name of the show.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description, and there is also a tag in the name.
Interesting guests and a lot of quality content. So please subscribe and follow.
Yeah. And thank you guys once again for following, and we'll see you after the game, which we will hopefully win on
Can
Sunday.
we just do this one? Can we just do this one and then we're off, huh? What about Europa League? What do you think?
So I'm really pleased that we avoided the fixture in February, straight into the last 16. I look at those clubs, Chabeli, and I think to myself, we can take anyone. Give me anyone. And I want us to win it. You know, I think going out to Villarreal last year, to Unai Emery, that really stung, man. And that return leg was really bad performance by us. So not last year, year before. So for me, it's about going to win it. And I would have quite liked Spurs to have dropped into it, but it is what it is. Whoever we get, maybe Barcelona. Why not? Let's smash them.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
There you go. As Eldar says, let us play Barca.
Yeah. Revenge time.
Makes sense. On that note, guys, we wish you a nice evening and see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, FK. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's go for the win. Come on, you gunners!
Go on, Arsenal.